And the Weird Behavior Award goes to...
Red Hot is Kelly Clarkson on the cover of Entertainment Weekly.
Yep, and joining us to talk about Kelly Clarkson, who we don't know a lot about her personal life, but maybe he can shed a little more light on it. Dave Conker, who interviewed her with Entertainment Weekly.
Now, we were looking at the cover of the magazine, and Kelly Clarkson in her picture there, she looks like she's like 12.
Definitely a difference between the way she looks when you see her on TV and the way she looks just in person. When I was interviewing her, it was at her house, actually, and she had like a form-fitting T-shirt on and capri pants and stuff. She looks a lot younger in person.
So actually the cover looks more like her in real life.
That's what I would say, yeah.
Okay.
She's not all gussied up. She's not a big makeup-wearing kind of girl. She's a hang-around the house in jeans and capri cargo pants kind of girl.
Gotcha.
So, there's so many things we know about other celebrities to the point where we don't want to know anymore, but we'd like to know more about Kelly Clarkson. She seems kind of a private person.
Yeah, I know. She's not out on the town a lot. She doesn't go to parties. And you know what I said was I was commenting to her about how beautiful her house was in Los Angeles, and she said, "Oh, this is just where I crash when I'm here. I really live in Texas."
Oh.
And first of all, for a crash pad, that's like the most dream crash pad I've ever seen in my life. But at the same time, she considers herself still a Texan, so she's not the kind of person who wants to kind of make the scene.
Right.
And but when it comes to her music and the kind of battles that she's gone through with her record label, she wouldn't stop talking. She really wanted to get things off her chest.
She fought them hard. They didn't want to release the CD the way it is right now, but she fought to have it happen.
That's correct. They wanted her to go back and work with some of the hit makers like Max Martin, the guy that did Since You've Been Gone, and try to replicate, basically, the success of the last album, Breakaway. But, she's had a really interesting 2 years. She's had a lot of success, but also a lot of personal kind of struggles, and she wanted to write about them. And a lot of people don't realize that she's actually written or co-written some of her hits already, like Because of You or Behind These Hazel Eyes. I mean, some of her bigger songs are ones that she co-wrote already, but still there was a lot of resistance from her record label to her writing. But she fought back, and what ended up happening was the record that she was hoping would have already been out by now is now coming out June 26th. So she had to wait, but she is going to get to put out the record that she wants.
Now, the song Never Again, that's the first single from that album, it's like, I kind of thought, well, it's just all right. But as you hear it more and more, it kind of grows on you. I really like it now.
You know what? I've heard so many people say that.
Yeah.
And because, when I was listening, she played me the record, and I liked it a lot. It has a lot of integrity to it. As I was listening to it, though, I thought to myself, this is the kind of thing that I'm going to like even more the more I hear it. And I think some of her older stuff, like Since You've Been Gone, particularly, that's the kind of thing where the second you heard that, you were like, oh my God, that's a monster hit.
Right.
And there's nothing like that, I don't think, on this new record. But I think it's the kind of thing that when you listen to it all the way through, not just in 3-minute bits, it's going to have more of an impact on the people listening, because it does tell a story and it makes you feel for her.
Dave Carger's on the phone with us from Entertainment Weekly. He got up and close and personal with Kelly Clarkson, this week's issue of Entertainment Weekly. And if you listen to her music, you'd have to think that she's rarely had a good relationship. Is she forthcoming at all? Because we don't hear much about her dating anybody.
I know.
Probably so, because the guys hear those songs and go, I have too much to live up to. I better run away quick.
Would you ever want to go out on a date with her after listening? Because she'll write about you.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's funny because one of the things that I didn't write about in the story, but the day I was there was the day that her video for Never Again premiered on MTV TRL.
Yeah.
And we decided we just paused the interview and we were watching her video. And they also had the cast of Spider-Man 3 on. And James Franco, who's one of the villains in Spider-Man 3, was
Green
there.
Goblin.
Yeah, and exactly. And the question from the host was, have you ever used your fame or your status to say, like, don't you know who I am, or this is something that I want to do? And he goes, yeah, I'd like to use my fame to meet Kelly Clarkson. And so we're sitting there watching it, and her friends are like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And she goes, wait, I don't understand it. What was he talking about? And her best friend Ashley said, Kelly, he's flirting with you. He wants to meet you. And she turned around to me, and she goes, see, this is why I'm single. And it's like
she doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it. I mean, I honestly, she doesn't think that people will find her attractive. It's very weird because in some ways she's really, really self-confident, but in other ways I think she's a little bit insecure. But you know what? She's very, very real. All of the fame that she's had, I swear to you, it doesn't seem to have gone to her head. I mean, I've done this job for 12 years and I've met all of these people, and she's one of the most real people that I've ever met.
I think that's what America loves about her. Not only is she very talented, but she has that approachable girl-next-door quality, I think, that hasn't gone away.
I think you're right, and I really am very curious to see how this record is received. She knows it won't sell as much as Breakaway. Everyone knows it won't. But I just hope, for her sake, that it doesn't become like this huge flop.
Yeah, this the big sophomore letdown.
Right.
I know, and it would be a shame because this is such a personal record for her. So maybe Never Again will continue to grow on people, and maybe this other stuff will too.
Dave Kargers with Entertainment Weekly. Talked to Kelly Clarkson. The issue's on newsstands right now. Anything just before we go that we didn't ask you about that you just think just was really remarkable about your time with her?
Well, the one thing that I found really interesting about her is how frank she is about her body image, because if you go on the internet, there's so many mean people out there who are just saying horrible things, that she's fat and this and that, calling her Mama Cass. I mean, I've read some really horrible things, and I asked her about that. Did it bother her that people are talking about her? And she really was just so refreshing about it. She said, it stinks, but not that much, or else I'd do something about it. She said, I work out when I want to work out, and I don't when I don't. And if I've had a hard day, a cookie helps. And I thought to myself, I love you for saying that. And I really wish that a lot of young girls would listen to her, because she looks fine. I mean, she has a T-shirt on that kind of bared her tummy, and people always say, oh, she has a muffin top. I mean, she did not have a muffin top. She looked great. I was very impressed.
Excellent.
Hey, that's great. If more young ladies would, kind of see themselves that way, as love the body you're in, that would be great.
Yeah, and she has a real body, and she's not fat. She looked good to me.
Hey, Dave, thanks so much. Look for it. Entertainment Weekly on newsstands now.
Hello? Hello?